Hello guys, today we'll continue exploring the code, the open source code of the new Laravel Pulse, and today I want to raise the discussion because I see in general in Laravel community there's kind of a shift of how we write code in terms of MVC. The classical MVC of controller, model and view is now shifted towards the view, the blade, the logic in blade. Of course, the beginning of that was Livewire with Alpine and Vault. So if you haven't seen Vault in action, I have videos around that. But generally, even after Vault or even without Vault, I've seen this code more and more, often with PHP directive in the blade with logic. And I remember that for many years I've been teaching people for classical MVC that you need to have logic in the controller or somewhere before the blade, and the blade, the view, is just for presenting the data. But it seems it's not the case anymore, as more people are voting towards logic in blade. And don't get me wrong, I don't want to criticize here. Laravel Pulse team did a great job. It's a great tool. It's working really cool with Livewire and Alpine and Blade. But let's discuss your preference, whether you would prefer to write code this way. So in here we have a button with message, and that message is built just one line above that message. So the logic is in PHP, and on top of that, on top of Blade, we have str class imported in the blade, and that would make sense with Livewire Vault if it would be a component with just blade, but no. We do have cache as Livewire component, which renders the view, so why don't we build that message variable in the Livewire component and pass that to the blade, as we did for years with Laravel controllers and then with Livewire components. But on the other hand, it makes sense because it follows the principle of code co-location. Which means if you need a variable here, it is possibly more readable if that variable is built just above. So you're looking at one place and you see both the logic of that variable and its presentation. If it were passed from Livewire component, then you would need to have extra click or extra move to another class to see what that message contains. And that's not the only example in Pulse. This is another one. So PHP with a function defined in Blade, which also kind of raised my eyebrows for a minute. But knowing how good the Laravel core team is, with Jess Archer, who worked on Laravel Pulse, I thought there should be some logic why it's done this way. And then if we search for that friendly size inside of that blade, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 occasions of using that function just in that blade file. Again, kind of code co-location, similar to Livewire Vault, or like it would be a JavaScript component, a Vue.js component. You define the logic inside the blade, and you use that logic inside of only that blade. So outside Laravel components or controllers or Laravel logic doesn't even know about that method existence. So these are just a few examples, but I hope you understand my overall question. Is classical MVC kind of in a way obsolete or maybe not that sacred anymore? Because many people in the community are happy with code co-location and a lot of logic in Blade. And in a separate video later this week, I will discuss general Laravel Pulse structure in terms of Livewire and Alpine and components. It's worth a separate video of 5 to 10 minutes, so subscribe to the channel to get that video, and let's discuss my question in the comments. That's it for this time, and see you guys in other videos.